Hello there. My question of today is aimed at A-level students, AS students starting A-level maths for the first time. And you've probably been working through some surds and indices, I'd imagine, in your first week back. I was looking at one of the Maths Challenge senior papers and I came across this little question. I thought this was a really, really nice question for a non-calculator. Something to get you thinking as you start to apply those rules of indices, but also thinking about linking expressions with the same base. So this question says, which of the four expressions shown has a different value from the other three? Now it's really tempting to just grab your calculator, calculate each one, and then find the one that's different in value. However, what I want you to start doing is try to think about what is the link between all of the bases in each of these expressions. And I believe that you probably know this. You can probably see the link is 2. They're all powers of 2. So I think what I would do, instead of reaching for my calculator, I would like to rewrite each expression as a power of 2. Or in base 2, I should say. Okay, now because I know 4 is 2 squared, the expression in A is absolutely identical to 2 squared to the power of 4. So I can see that that 2 squared is the same as 4. And using my knowledge of indices, I know that I have to multiply the powers when one power is raised to another. And I can see that that is the same as 2 to the power of 8. Moving on to B. Now I know that 8 is 2 cubed, so I'm going to rewrite this as 2 cubed to the power of 8 thirds. And there's a couple of things that I can do here. I can either multiply out the powers, or I can start to think, what does the power of 8 thirds actually mean? Well, the power of 8 thirds actually means that I need to cube root 2 thirds and then raise it to the power of 8. But if you're not so sure about that, of course, I can still just multiply out those powers. So that's going to be 2 to the power of 24 thirds. And I know that 24 divided by 3 is, of course, 8. So I can see that that's also equivalent to 2 to the power of 8. Notice that I'm using 3 little lines. That means is identical to or is equivalent to. It's not an equation I'm trying to solve, it's actually identical. Moving on to C, I know that 16 is 2 to the power of 4. So I'm just going to rewrite 16 as 2 to the power of 4 and then I'm going to square it. And I can see that that is again equivalent to 2 to the power of 8. Now before I answer that D is different, I think what I really need to do is just make sure that that's true and that there's not a mistake in the question. So I know that 32 is 2 to the power of 5. I need to raise that to 6 fifths. So I can see that that's 2 to the power of 30 over 5. And I know that 30 over 5, 30 divided by 5 is just 6. That is 2 to the power of 6. Aha! I can now see that that final answer, 2 to the power of 6, is the one that's different. Therefore, I'm going to answer with D. So I think that question is really nice for higher level GCSE pupils or anyone that's starting A-level this week. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.